IFP has launched its voter registration drive in Durban amid much fanfare.
Hundreds of supporters and volunteers are gathered at the Durban City Hall precinct and were addressed by the party leader, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. Our SABC News reporter, Vusi Khumalo, caught up with the party's national spokesperson, Mkhuleko Hlengwa.
Well, the IFP is on a voter registration drive, the first stop being the eThekwini region, whereby they are encouraging members of the IFP and just the general public to come and register so that they do participate and also take part in the national elections taking place in May this year. With me is the IFP national spokesperson, Mr. Mkhuleko Hlengwa. He is also the member of parliament of the IFP. Mr. Mkhuleko Hlengwa, tell us about this voter registration that you are launching today.
Well, you will recall that elections are a process, not an event. And so for anybody who wants to make a difference in South Africa, to think they will do so on election day is highly problematic. So we definitely need to get every South African on the voters' roll. And you will recall that the Constitutional Court at some point indicated that the integrity of the voters' roll was in question because of the fact that addresses were missing from that. So one, we are calling on South Africans to really make sure that their addresses are correct on the voters' roll, because we know the phenomenon of passing of people, particularly by the ANC. And secondly, there's over 3 million South Africans who are unregistered, and over 17% of those on the voters' roll have not at this point in time corrected their addresses or updated them. So we felt it important as a party that ahead of the voter registration campaign weekend rather of the 26th and 27th by the IEC, to be an honest partner with the IEC and encourage all South Africans to register to vote. And so today, Prince Buthelezi was actually here interacting with the IFP volunteers to encourage them to go out and encourage South Africans to be on the voters' roll. As we speak now, teams of the NEC and the National Council will be going into the CBD of Durban to ensure that we spread this message. So we are making a clarion call to all South Africans, really, that they actually go out to register to vote. We cannot make a difference. The economy is on its knees. Crime is on the increase. Corruption is the order of the day. The ANC has, for all intents and purposes, failed. Now, for any South African who wants to make a change in the cause of governance in this country, they need to begin by registering to vote. That is why we are here today. We believe that this is probably more important than election day in itself, because you may find people who want to make a difference, and come the day of making that difference, they are unable to do so. So we will be going out to all the corners of South Africa, spreading this message to register to vote, to say on the 26th and 27th of January, go out and register. Secondly, IEC offices are open midweek between 8 and 5. Go there and make sure that you check your status, you register to vote. Secondly, make sure that you check your registration status. If you have moved from where you reside previously, go and change. All we are saying is, let us be part and parcel of the electoral process in its entirety. So we are quite grateful today that we have seen a large number of IFP volunteers who have come to receive that message, but most importantly, that message must not be confined to just the IFP people. We are concerned, of course, as the IFP, about the state of the country, and that is why we want to encourage South Africans to be part and parcel of the solution. We have an economy that's not growing, and the fact that you had a manifesto launch of some political party over the past weekend promising 275,000 jobs year on year, whereas there are close to 10 million people who are unemployed. That tells you that probably this plan of theirs will only materialize in fruition in 30-35 years' time. You're speaking about a political party in government that has been losing jobs. Just last year we lost 278,000 jobs.
Okay, let's go back to the IFP matters now. We know that the IFP has been making inroads and winning most of the by-elections in KwaZulu-Natal. Are you going to use that as a barometer to measure your success for the upcoming election?
Well, we are most definitely using our election strategy of by-elections as part and parcel of the broader election strategy of how we are going to capture the minds, hearts and imagination of South Africans. A promise of hope, a promise of good governance, a promise of a corruption-free government, a promise of service delivery. Where we govern now, the 13 municipalities that we are governing now, go there. You don't need anybody to tell you. Service delivery is in front of you, left, right and center. We've got mayors and councillors who are accessible to the people. And what is important is where we have seen weaknesses and shortcomings where we are in government, we've been unafraid to remove those mayors and replace them with people who are equal to the task. And because we are able to do that, nothing stops us from having an IFP government which would ensure that people who are no longer performing will be removed. We are convinced as the IFP that if we leave young people behind, we leave our own future behind. But most importantly, to all South Africans, the message of the IFP today is that if you want that change, if you want that promise of the IFP of trust, leadership of integrity, if you want good governance, we're going to be presenting a comprehensive plan of action and a course of action which says we will turn the tide of our shortcomings in this country. But before we get that mandate, we need every single South African to go out and vote. And it's precisely why we are here today. And we are a party of 5 colors. And most importantly, we are saying to all South Africans, high five and register to vote.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mr. Hlengwa. There's the IFP National Spokesperson Mkhuleko Hlengwa.